And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, the NHL playoff preview show. Currently just me. Hopefully we'll have some other people on the way here shortly. But if it's just me, it's just me. I'll break things down for you. So we'll start in the first matchup here. Boston is in Carolina. So I do have the poll here. Here's Toller. Welcome on in. I do have the poll here that I put on Getting Wild with Terry and Friends Twitter. Who will win the series? Boston or Carolina? And so far, almost 60% say Carolina. I'm on the other side here. I think Boston has a chance in this as an underdog at plus 105. I have them in one of my series parlays, which I'll give out at the end. But I think Boston stands a good chance here to win the series and pull off the upset. Toller, any opinions here in Bruins and Hurricanes?
I kind of lean Boston. I think this series is going to be a battle of defense because Carolina is all offense. If we see Pasta and we see all the guys on the Bruins clicking like they can, I think Carolina's going to have a run for their money in this one. It's going to be a good series for sure. I'm expecting at least a game 6. No blowouts for sure. It's really tough. That first game is going to depend a lot on that one, I think.
I think with Anderson being out, I think that's really gonna. I think the goaltending is really gonna matter. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I think, I think Boston could be a good upset here.
Yeah, if Anderson doesn't come back at all, then yeah. Boston needs to score on the power play, though. They're doing really bad on power plays right now.
Yeah, true. Moving on to the second one, I'm not sure who else will be coming. It is Saturday night, but thanks for coming, Toller. And we'll move on to the. What's up, Eddie? We'll move on to the. You hit the like, awesome. Minnesota and St. Louis here. Currently 50-50% here in the poll. 58 votes, and it's a 50-50 split. So people are torn on which way this is going to go. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. Everyone knows what side I'm taking here. I don't think it's a surprise. I was hoping the Wild would get home ice. I've been talking about it for a while now. Get home ice, get home ice. They got home ice, and now the Wild have to come out and perform, and they have to win. The Wild to win Game 1 and the series is currently plus 113. I looked at that. I think Wild are going to come out here strong in the first game, and I ultimately think they win the series. So I think that is a good bet. I do obviously have Minnesota to win the series in both of my series parlays, and then and we'll wait till the end, and I'll give my other picks for the Wild. But Toller, Blues and Wild, it's going to be a hell of a series. What do you think happens?
Game 7. This is a Game 7 series written all over it. I think you were really right on pushing for home ice for the past 2 weeks because I think it's going to boil down to that. If we're looking at the last part of the season, the Blues, yes, they went on their run, but it started to fade. And it started to fade right at the end. I don't know if it's whether they were starting to get ready for playoffs, they were less focused, or what. But with as close of a home ice race as you guys had, I wouldn't have seen them letting off as quick as they did. The Wild are clicking. I mean, you can call it what you want. You can call it because it was Krill's birthday. I don't know what you want to call it, but them boys are hot in Minnesota right now, Terry. I'll give you that. Home ice, the first game, they're going to take it. I could see it being a back and forth shootout. I really could. It's going to boil down to goalies. I think like the order these teams do their goalies is going to really determine a lot. I don't know. I'd have to look at past matchups with Fleury when he was playing the Blues. Obviously, it was another team mostly for when he played the Blues. But we can also check Cam Talbot. He didn't do too bad, I don't think. I don't know. Bautista good, but Bennington isn't. That could be a big thing if y'all capitalize on those games.
Yeah. How good of a signing was Fleury? Like, I can't even put into words. Not just because of what Fleury's done on the ice, but what it did to Talbot is like it made Talbot so much better. I don't know how to explain it, but the Fleury signing was just great all around, for sure. So this will be a good series. We'll move on to the third one here. The Lightning are plus 110 against the Leafs here. And almost 60% of the voters here say Tampa. And as you can see by the check mark, I also went Tampa. I think Tampa wins this series. They're the two-time champs for a reason. The Leafs have not got out of the first round for years. I don't really expect anything to change in this series. So I'm taking Tampa Bay at the plus money. They're in one of my parlays, and I'll probably also get to them live. Or not live. I'll get to them singly as well in this one. I do think that Tampa Bay may not win game one. So I'm considering maybe waiting till after game one to bet Tampa. Because if they do go down game one, then the odds will be so much better for them to win the series. So I'll probably look at them after game one and see what happens there. Toller, Lightning and Leafs. What do you think here?
Like you said, two-time champs. They're going to be motivated. They know they got a target on their back, but they also have the talent to back it up. And it's not just like Toronto's first line. Tampa Bay has some depth. They also have stars in every position, not just some forwards. Vasilevsky, beast. Absolute beast. Brian Elliott, yeah, not the best. But same thing to be said for Toronto. Jack Campbell, beast. Eric Halgren, not that good. So I think it's going to, again, this will be coming out of the goalies. First game is going to be another big one. I think across most of these pick'em series, or pick'em matchups, sorry. First game's going to be huge. Tampa Bay, if they go down, they could come back in the series. But I like to take them in the first game. I think Toronto coming back, they're just going to have Matthews back because he didn't play in the last one, did he?
Yeah, no, they took Marner, Tavares, and Matthews out for the last game.
And Tampa Bay's just been playing, so yeah, I like Tampa Bay to take the first game here.
All right. Moving along to this one, the Kings plus 195 are in Edmonton, who's minus 235. And the voters agree. 62.5% say Edmonton here. 37.5% say the Kings. And I also did go with Edmonton, but it's not a super confident play here. The Oilers, obviously, we know what happened to them last year in that playoff disaster in the first round, getting swept by the Jets. They did get – it wasn't the first round, right? They did get swept by the Jets.
That's what though.
Yeah. And now they're facing LA. I do think Edmonton's better than LA. But LA Quick does have playoff history. I still don't like Edmonton's goaltending. So I do like Edmonton to win the series, but I don't think this is going to be a 4-game sweep or anything. I think it's going to be a tough series. Toller, Kings and Oilers, what do you think here?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we didn't even think the Kings were going to be here. I think the way the things just fell into it, they're really appreciating it. I think they're making the most out of it, and they're really focused. It's not, like you said, going to be a 4-0 series by any means. Edmonton has the skill. It's whether or not they can put their cockiness aside and work as a team, I think. The Kings, they're a really weird team. They can show up when they want, but sometimes they just don't. And we've said it a few times on the show that the Kings can snatch the coins every now and then. it's really hard to go against the Oilers though with the big names they have, Draisaitl, McDavid. Like, how could you not? I mean, it's gonna be a really tough series for the Kings, especially starting away. I see 4-2 in favor of the Oilers.
All right. Let me bring this down here. The next one is going to be Pittsburgh and the Rangers. Just let me find it here. The polls are not in order. Pittsburgh will not have Jari for I'm not sure exactly how long, but he obviously won't play in the first few games. I think it actually was a season-ending injury. Let me just yeah, it said he was injured, won't play. Let me just check here. Week to week. So he is still injured. He will not play. The voters agree with me here. The Rangers. Pittsburgh obviously has not had much success the last couple of years in the playoffs. The Rangers haven't made the playoffs in a few years. But with Igor and net, the Rangers playing pretty well heading into the playoffs. I like the Rangers here. Minus 115. I still think that's a good price. I think this should be more like minus 130, minus 135 for the Rangers. So I definitely see value here. Pittsburgh Rangers, what do you think here, Toller?
Yeah, even the line movement's agreeing with us. The Rangers opened like a plus 110, plus 105 on books, and they're already at minus 115. When the series starts, I honestly believe they'll be around 130. So I'd get them now. I was lucky enough to get them at plus 100. I should have done more. I didn't think it was going to jump this quick. Yeah, Pittsburgh, if they're with DeSmith the whole time, I can't back them. The playoff history isn't there. DeSmith's definitely just not there, as we've seen in the past couple games. Especially if he's not going to have any rest in between it. The Rangers are going to give him a pretty hectic time. They got some pretty good, solid studs up there on top. Zibanejad, Panarin, Fox. I mean, there's tons of guys out there that can pepper DeSmith at any spot on the ice. So it's going to be a really tough series for Pittsburgh. I can see it. I want to say 4-1. I think the Pittsburghs might just get one at the home. But that's about it. I don't have much confidence in Pittsburgh here. I might get some slack for that, but I'm backing the Rangers for sure.
Hey, I'm right there with you. The next one here, we have a plus 310. The Washington Capitals plus 310. Florida minus 390. And the voters agree. 90% say Florida. 10%, including Nick Earl, say Washington. Yes, Florida. Florida's defense / goaltending has a little bit to be desired, but their offense is just unreal. Yes, the playoffs is about defense and goaltending. Yes, offense tends to dry up in the playoffs, but this Florida team was something else this year. And yeah, I agree with the voters, 90%. I think Florida wins the series. However, they are minus 390, so there's no value to bet them to win the series unless you parlay them. So that's what I've done. Toller, Capitals and Panthers. Do you like Florida here too?
Yeah, I definitely see them getting to the conference finals. They should steamroll through Washington. Ovechkin just started getting back to the ice a few nights ago. He didn't play in that last game. Obviously, there's no reason for him to. But still, even I know he's Ovechkin, but injury's an injury. You're still going to be dealing with it. It's still in the back of your mind. He's not going to be 100% right out the gate. And these Panthers are, I mean, we thought at the beginning of the season they'd slow down. Then they got to the middle of the season. They're still out there hitting 10-2 games. Then it's the final games of the season. They pulled all their starters, and they're still out here putting 4-0s on teams. I mean, yes, the Montreal game was a slip-up, but they really didn't care at that point. They had President's Trophy lost. Even if you got Bobrovsky in there, I can see the Panthers keeping. If there's any 4-0, it's going to be this one. But there's no value in the 390. I know the DraftKings has it's like the late sleepers or some type of parlay boost they're doing where it's the Avalanche, Panthers, and I believe the Oilers parlayed to plus 115 boosted at 30%. Max $25 bet, maxed out, of course. There's no reason the Panthers should lose this. A couple of people are saying that this might be one of those sleeper games. And just like March Madness and any other tournament, usually in the first round, there's going to be an upset, but I don't see it happening here. That's just not where I see it. Panthers are just too good. Offense has been there all season long. And if Ovechkin's not there, if he somehow just gets re-injured in a game or two in a rough collision or something, it's done.
Or maybe he's not even fully healthy, like at all.
He's just pushing.
So he's playing not fully healthy and then not fully not fully himself.
And it's not like he's just going over to New York or he's playing in Boston. You're playing in Florida to start. That's a hostile place, man.
Yeah. Jack says, Caps game 1. I'd be kind of surprised. I think he said Florida rested everybody. That's why he likes Caps game 1. Yeah, that's why they got absolutely smashed by Montreal. But I don't know. I would think that they would want to come out here and it was last game of the season and whatever, but they still got embarrassed in the last game heading into the playoffs. So you think they'd want to kind of show in the first game against the Capitals that they are the real deal. But we'll have to see for sure. The next matchup, Dallas plus 240 is in Calgary minus 300. And the voters think Calgary. 88% say the Flames. 11% say Dallas here. And I can see why people have this opinion. Dallas kind of just squeaked into the playoffs here, and the Flames have been amazing all year. A few kind of iffy spots for the Flames at times, but overall they played really well in the year. I think they win the series minus 300 though, so obviously you'd have to parlay this, or you'd have to take them like to win like 4-1 or something for good odds. But I like the Flames here to win the series. Toller, Stars and Flames. What do you think here?
I personally wanted the Preds to face the Flames and the Stars to face the Avalanche. I think the Stars had a better chance of taking out Colorado than we did. And I like our chances against the Flames better. But beggars can't be choosers. I see it going the complete opposite now. We're going to get smashed by the Colorado, and the Stars are going to get smashed by the Flames. It's two completely different playing styles. Flames are just so fast, and if you watch them, their transition on the ice from one end to the other, I mean, it's like I was showing my fiance on one of their games. I can't recall, but all 5 of Calgary's players would be facing Markstrom or getting a deflected puck, or they're about to turn and take the attack. Every single one of them would turn at the exact same moment, like clockwork, and they move it like a unit, so well. It's a really great play of hockey. Dallas is defensive; they sit back and they try to just work their way up the ice. I don't see them doing much against this Calgary team. I know Calgary wasn't doing too hot at the end of the season, but they also didn't have much to play for. They were in. They didn't really care. I don't think they really cared who they played. I saw them when they played here in Nashville twice here recently, and we got one of the wins. Yes, wasn't really deserved, but because Calgary was on I think it was like 3rd game in 4, but Calgary is just so good, man. I've got them going pretty far in my bracket, to be honest. I'm a big Flame fan this season.
Yeah, I haven't done a bracket yet, so I'm kind of focusing on just the first round. That's my main focus right now. And then because I people do the bracket for fun, and I get that, but like I want to do one for money because what happens if, like, let's say you have Colorado to win it all, and McKinnon gets hurt, and Rantanen gets hurt, and the goaltending's bad, and then they're eliminated. Like you could lose your money that you put in that bracket. Like for me, I'd rather tackle first round and then go on after that. But that's just my opinion.
And that's why I like the series bettings off the start. And then once it gets further in, then you start doing your bracket. That's smart.
Yeah. And also, like, depending on how the series goes, you can get a team at a plus price and then get the other team at a plus price, and even yourself, like, you can what's the word, hedge
Yeah.
yourself out, so you're automatically going to make profit for sure. But we'll head into your team, the Nashville Predators, plus 475 in Colorado. Well, against Colorado, minus 650.
I think we're the biggest dogs.
And the voters agree. 88% say Colorado will win.
I vote
12.1% say Nashville. So some people do have a little bit of faith in the Preds. This is so tough. So I don't know who to cheer for in this series. Nashville's had our number. Like they just beat us. Like we can't beat you guys. So there's that. But then Colorado is the better team, and we should be more worried about. So I don't know who to cheer for in this matchup. I hope these two teams fight each other a lot and just wear each other down. And I actually hope it does go a long series. And they just fight each other and tire each other out. But who I'm cheering for, I hate to say the Avs, but Nashville, Minnesota just does not play Nashville well. So I think based on playoff history, I'd rather probably face the Avalanche in the playoffs. As crazy as that might sound. But who do I think win? I do think the Avalanche win this. They're minus 650 for a reason. But the Predators were really good at times this year. So if they can somehow turn on what made them really good at times, and they could give Colorado a fight, perhaps. Toller, Preds, and Avs. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I'd feel a lot more confident in this one if we had Saros. Rittich, he robbed me the other night. I don't know how he performed the way he did, but he's a very inconsistent goalie. Ingram, as we saw, couldn't hold a 4-0 lead against the Yotes. So definitely not going to back him in any playoff situation. Like, he's never even been there, so kid's going to crumble. Rittich might steal us a game or two, but the series, even as a Preds fan, as much as I would love to see it, I mean, it'd be a Cinderella story, but I just don't see it happening. It's too hard to bet against the Avalanche right now. And especially just without our main goalie. I mean, Saros is a core member of our team. He's not just like a forward that could be. He's the goalie, and it's not like we're as lucky as the Wild over here with Fleury and Talbot. I mean, we got there's a big difference between Saros and Rittich. I mean, you saw after the win with Rittich how crazy our fans went in Colorado, because that was a big moment for him. Nobody expected it. I mean, that was 2, I think, back-to-back wins he's now had to end the season, and that's just not like him. It's the momentum he needs, but like we just said, that he came back in Colorado. That was a big game in Colorado. There's gonna be a revenge spot here, so we're going back.
Is he going to be able to do that in the playoffs?
Exactly, going right back over there. It's gonna be sold out. Playoff vibes now. I can't. I just don't see it happening.
How long is Saros out?
They won't say. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they won't say because it's playoffs. So that makes sense.
But it was a sprained or something ankle. I mean, you're not coming back from that quick unless you barely twisted it, which I don't think he did. We'd already seen him warming up again. If he had any hopes of playing in the first or second game.
And Stanley Cup picks. If I have to choose a team from the East, I would say Tampa Bay Lightning. As much as I'd like to see somebody new make it. I think Tampa Bay. But hey, they're plus money in the first round. So odds makers think they get eliminated in the first round.
Do you have a picture of the bracket?
Do I have a what?
Do you have a picture of the bracket?
No.
Okay. I don't have it pulled up.
I don't. But I think Tampa Bay goes pretty far. And on the Western side, I did bet Minnesota to win the Western Conference at plus 800 for 1 unit, and I have half a unit on the Wild to win the Stanley Cup at plus 1600. I had to do it. Now, had the Blues got home ice advantage, this would be a completely different story. I'd probably have a half unit on the Wild to win the Cup, and but I think home ice is really going to matter in the Wild series. So I have the Wild to win the West, I have the Wild to win the Cup, and if I have to choose a team from the East, I think they face the Lightning. Toller, Stanley Cup picks. Who do you think makes it from the East?
So I see Calgary playing.
Oh, I think you froze. You did freeze. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I don't know what just happened. From the East though, I could definitely whoever wins between the Blues and the Wild, which I think is the Wild, is going to play Colorado. That right there depends. It's going to play the Flames. So I think if you guys beat Colorado, you have a better chance of beating the Flames than Colorado does of beating the Flames. So that's how my side of that bracket's playing out. Other side, yeah, Tampa Bay as well. Tampa Bay or Florida. It's either one. I don't see anybody stopping them over there.
Well, they would face each other in the second round if they both win their series. So.
Okay, that's
and another thing. Well, why I like your Wild beating the Calgary pick? Wild would get home ice if they
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If y'all beat Colorado, knocking them off of the home thing, and y'all steal it from Calgary, I can see it. Because y'all would be on such a high from beating the Blues and then Colorado. It'd be one of those moments where like you feel invincible because you just knocked out the potential, like the most favorited Stanley Cup winner right there. Now you got home ice until the finals. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So you think it'll be Flames? Then who do you think? Florida or Tampa?
Florida, whoever wins that. Yeah.
Who do you think wins it all? Who's holding up the cup this June?
It's so hard to do a three-peat. I see Tampa Bay getting there and just not making it. I think it's gonna be right there, right out of reach. I want to back a team out of the East. I want to back somebody over here. I'm not going to be the guy that says I want to go for Colorado. That way I can say we got knocked out by the Stanley Cup champions because that's never fun. That's just a sore loser in my opinion. I don't like that excuse.
No, yeah, no, I never said that. When Minnesota, I never said that.
I hate when that people do that. It's just I'm like, no, I'll go for somebody else. Calgary, man, there's something about them. The way I was watching them play here in the later half of the season, when they're clicking, and if Markstrom's on, man, he's got it. Vladar, though, that's the thing. I don't know if Vladar can do it. Y'all have a better goalie, and that can take you a lot farther than any offense. Because if the goalie's just having one of his nights, man, it doesn't matter how many shots you fire at him. He's just stopping everything, and that's what you need some nights, or on a game 7, or on that monumental or momentum shifter game in the series. It's just you need goalies in the playoffs. And y'all have the best goalie setup right now of all any teams in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Fingers crossed. But the Wild's playoff history is not very good. So they haven't really done very much in the playoffs. The only time they made the Western Conference Finals was in 2003, their third year being a team. So Flower has been playing awful. I wouldn't say that. He played pretty well in the last game. Yes, the Stars were out for the Avalanche, but he lets in some softies, but then he locks it down. And honestly, it's not even for sure that he is going to be the starter. Talbot has played so well. I think Fleury does get the first start, but if either goalie doesn't perform, they'll switch to the other one for sure. Right, and Toffoli sweet signing for the Flames. Yeah, he was a good trade. It was a trade, I think. Yeah, and that's the show. It was just me and Toller, but we broke it down. Everybody else, it's a busy Saturday, and everybody's doing things that aren't hockey related because hockey's not on, so they're getting their hockey break. But we broke it down for you guys, and we will see you Monday for episode of baseball and then our first playoff show. So we will see you on Monday. And everybody have a good one. All right. Talbot should be number 1. I hope so. Wild have been a freight train. Yep. All right. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
You guys.